In this video, we're going to familiarize you with navigating the controller on MistAway's misting units. The controller hardware for the Gen 1.3 drum unit and the Gen 3 tankless unit is identical. But while the software and some of the settings are different, reflecting differences in how the units work, the navigation is the same. Let's take a look at the controller in the home screen on the display. In the main body of the display, you'll see three pieces of information: the day, the time, and the level. In a Gen 1.3, it's the level of solution remaining in the drum. In a Gen 3, it's the level of concentrate remaining in the bottle. Just under the display are four navigation buttons: a red menu/stop button, a green right arrow button, and two gray buttons marked with up and down arrows. You'll set what we call the system mode at the very top of the home screen by pressing the green button. If off is displayed, the unit won't run any mist cycles that have been programmed, and it will not run a remote mist. It will, though, execute a daily agitation cycle, which helps to suppress biologic growth in the drum or batch tank. Press the green button again, and REM is displayed. This is the on-demand mode, and the unit will respond to a mist command from a handheld remote, but won't run any programmed mist cycles. Press the green button again, and a triangle appears positioned under a line leading to a mode called Auto Every Day, where the unit will run the mist cycles that are programmed every day. Misting every day is really what makes the systems effective, and Auto Every Day is by far the most common system mode used. Press the green button again, and the triangle is positioned to a mode called Auto Custom, where the unit will run the mist cycles that are programmed only on the days of the week that have been set in the custom program branch of the menu structure. You might use this system mode for a second home, where you only want to mist Friday through Sunday. Press the green button again, and the mode returns to off. The system mode will remain in whatever mode you leave it in, so it's important to confirm you've got it where you want it, usually Auto Every Day, before you put the cover on the drum or close the lid of a Gen 3. Just to the left of the display, in white text, are the branches of the controller's menu structure. From the home screen, if you press the red menu button, menu appears on the display, and you'll see a triangle appear on the left pointing to day and time. You can use the up and down arrow buttons to position the triangle by the menu branch you want to enter, and then press the green button to enter the branch. The day and time menu branch is where you set the day of the week and current time. The cycles branch is where you'll set the time and duration of each mist cycle. There are 24 possible mist cycles. The next branch is custom program, used only when the system mode is in auto custom, where you toggle off the days of the week you don't want to mist. The next branch is setup and is primarily used when you're first putting the system into operation. This branch is where you'll tell the controller the nozzle count and electronically orient the handheld remote transmitter to the remote receiver in the unit, among other things. The next branch is maintenance. It's where you'll tell the controller the fluid level in the drum or concentrate level in the bottle when you replenish it. It's also where you can run an extended inspect cycle, which allows you to inspect the nozzle circuit to find a leak. The last menu branch is data. In this branch, you can reset some values, like remote mist counts, which allow you to see how the system was run since the last time they were reset. There are also some values the controller keeps that will facilitate troubleshooting. There is a complete listing and explanation of all the menu items for each system type in an article in the tech self-help pages of MistAway.com. Now let's demonstrate changing a setting by setting the current day and time to Wednesday at 5:05 p.m. Return to the daytime branch and press the green button. You'll enter the daytime screen and the day will begin flashing. The convention we've used throughout the controller is that when a data element is flashing, it means that you can change it with the up and down arrow keys. You then select that value and move to the next one by pressing the green arrow button. Use the arrow keys to scroll through the days of the week until you get to Wednesday, then press the green right arrow key to select it and move to the next data element. You'll see now that the hours digit is flashing, which means you can change it with the arrow keys. Also note that the AM/PM indication is flashing. Use the arrows to change the hour of the day until you get to 5 p.m., then select it by pressing the green button. Now do the same for minutes. The controller will save whatever values are on the display when you press the menu button and go back to the home screen. Now let's program a morning mist cycle, say 7:10 a.m. Press the menu button. Now press the down arrow one time to position the triangle by the menu branch called Cycles. Then press the green button to enter. There are 4 data elements for each mist cycle. The number 1 that is flashing to the right of the C indicates that you're setting cycle 1 out of 24 possible mist cycles. We select cycle 1 by pressing the green button and move to the mist duration, which is now flashing. We'll use the up arrow to get to 45 seconds and then select that by pressing the green arrow. Next, we'll use the up arrow until we get to 7 a.m. and then select that with the green arrow. Then we'll set and select the minutes to 10. You can see that the cycle 1 is flashing again. To program a second mist cycle, I could press the up arrow and select cycle 2. All the information for cycle 1 is already saved as it appears on the display. Since I'm only setting one cycle, I'll just press the red menu button and go back to the home screen. You'll get the hang of this very quickly. One of the first things you'll do in setting up a unit is to tell the controller how many nozzles are on the nozzle circuit. Let's set the nozzle count to 42 nozzles. Press the red menu button, then press the down arrow button to position the triangle at setup. Now enter the setup menu branch by pressing the green arrow button. Use either arrow button to scroll through items in the setup until you get to NOS. Then press the green arrow button. The default is 0 and it's flashing. Use the up arrow key to set that to 42 nozzles. Now press the red menu key to return to the home screen. That's all there is to changing settings, but not all the items on every branch are settings. Some items are routines. I previously mentioned the inspect function, which runs the system for an extended period so that you can look for leaks. To run an inspection cycle, press the red menu button and then the down arrow button to the maintenance branch. Then press the green arrow to enter, then press either up or down arrow button to scroll through the items until you arrive at the flashing INS. Now press and hold the green arrow button for a couple of seconds. You'll hear the agitate solenoid valve open and hear a motor start, while you see a timer begin a countdown on the display. You can stop the inspection cycle by pressing the red stop button and the controller will display the home screen. Another notable routine that you'll do when first setting up a unit, where you'll press and hold the green arrow button, is LRT in the setup menu. It's how you electronically orient the remote handheld transmitter with the receiver inside the unit. There are just a few routines and you'll find and get used to them quickly. Another thing you'll eventually need to do on a controller is to clear an error that has been enunciated when the controller detects a problem with the system. A good example is error 3, where the controller has suspended operation of the system because of a leak in the nozzle circuit. To clear an error, you just press and hold the red menu stop button for 5 seconds. And finally, at some point, you may need to reboot the controller. If you add or replace a component on the unit that's connected to the controller, like a zone kit or a remote receiver, you'll need to reboot it so that it can recognize the new hardware is present. It's very simple to do. You just cycle the power, that is, turn it off and then back on again. And you can either do it at the outlet, or you can lift the controller from its well and pull the power cable from its connector on the back of the controller and then plug it back in. It takes a few seconds, and you'll see MistAway appear on the display, then the type of unit, then the version of the firmware running on the controller.